Located at the Hard Rock Hotel in Ibiza, Spain, Sublimotion lays claim to being the single priciest restaurant on the planet, and probably several other planets. You're probably wondering what it feels like to eat there, and we can tell you that it feels expensive. But if you want more than that, you'll have to stick around, because today we're going to take a look at what it's like to eat at Sublimotion, the most expensive restaurant in the world. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel. After that, please leave a comment and let us know what other elite restaurants you would like to hear about. Okay, try not to faint when they bring the check. Founded in 2014, Sublimotion is an haute cuisine restaurant created by Paco Roncero, a double Michelin-starred chef who trained at the School of Hospitality and Tourism of Madrid. After graduating, Roncero built his reputation working at a number of the fanciest schmanciest restaurants in the area. Those include places like Zalacain, the Hotel Ritz, and the Casino de Madrid, where Roncero got the chance to study under Ferran Adrià, widely considered one of the greatest chefs in the world. Today, Roncero manages 7 restaurants spread out over 3 continents, including Version Original in Bogota, Estado Puro in Madrid, Ibiza and Shanghai, Barbarossa, which is also in Shanghai, Sinergias, which is also in Madrid, and of course, Sublimotion. He's also the creator of the kitchen management software Gestor de Cocina, or Kitchen Manager, as well as the author of a slew of books. But his real claim to fame is his association with the most expensive restaurant in the world. And according to its website, Sublimotion is more than just a ridiculously expensive restaurant. It's a gastronomic performance that will take diners on a journey across the metaverse. And if you're wondering what the hell that means, Roncero explains that at Sublimotion they play with emotions, the senses, the set, the aromas, and the taste, to be able to create absolutely unique experiences with each scene. Okay, that didn't make things much clearer, but that may be the point. Roncero said he got the idea for the project in 2012, while he was leading a culinary workshop, and he began to think about a menu that connected all 5 senses. With that in mind, he designed Sublimotion to be something you have to experience in person. No mere words can do it justice. It took 2 full years for a team of chefs, set designers, architects, engineers, screenwriters, illustrators, illusionists, at least 1 DJ, and the best confectioner in Europe to design and build Sublimotion. Despite the historically high prices, and we'll get to those in a sec, the place was an instant success and remains so over a decade later. Okay, it's called the most expensive restaurant in the world for a reason, so we're just going to rip off that Band-Aid and tell you up front. Your night at Sublimotion will run you somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,400. That's not $2,400 per party, or $2,400 per table. That's $2,400 per person. Why is it so much? Well, there are a lot of reasons, and we'll get to them a little later. But when you get right down to it, that's really just what the finest dining in the world costs these days. For example, eating at Alchemist, which is located in Copenhagen, Denmark, and offers a similarly immersive dining experience, nearly rivals Sublimotion with its $2,200 a plate menu. And a meal at Ultraviolet in Shanghai, which offers such a similar experience to Sublimotion its owner has accused Sublimotion of ripping off his ideas, might cost you up to $1,400 a plate. By contrast, the $1,000 a head you might pay at New York City's Masa, which has 3 Michelin stars and a chef who will create a personal tasting menu for every party, seems downright reasonable, although that price doesn't include drinks. It's always something. While the title of most expensive has been traded around a bit over the decades, Sublimotion is currently at the top of the list, a spot it's held since 2015, when its prices surpassed the Japanese restaurant Urasawa, which was located in Beverly Hills, California. It's closed now, but don't worry, the people of Beverly Hills still have plenty of other expensive restaurants to choose from. As you might imagine, the tab for a whole party at Sublimotion costs roughly the same as an economy car or a college education, but there are a lot of reasons for that. First of all, it's located on the beach in Playa d'Embosa, a place the Daily Mail has described as being synonymous with Europe's millionaire party scene. So as you might imagine, it's usually packed with celebrities and other rich folks who aren't quite as well known. And even for that type of place, it's extremely exclusive. The whole restaurant only seats a single party of 12 people. It only has 2 seatings per day, and it's only open during the summer. And although its website provides a phone number and email address for bookings, most sources report that dining at Sublimotion is an invitation-only experience. That experience is a 20-course tasting meal made from the highest quality ingredients, and the menu for that meal changes a little every year. All that food is accompanied by an elaborate show that includes laser lights, virtual reality elements, and projections that run through every surface in the room. And those elements thematically reflect the meal being served, so they have to be changed every time the menu changes. If only they could install one of those at Fazoli's. Implementing all those changes costs a fortune, and so does the 25 to 30 person staff required to execute all the highly complicated and technical elements of every meal. It's kind of like a miniature Disneyland. Whether or not you think all that spectacle is justified, it's the reason why eating there is so dang expensive. So what is it actually like to eat a meal at Sublimotion? The menu and its accompanying performance are a little different every year. But while the specifics may always be changing, the shape of the basic experience is always the same. For starters, the restaurant will send a fleet of Land Rovers to pick you and your party up and bring you to Sublimotion, where you'll need to perform a special secret knock to get them to open up for you, because you never really grow out of secret clubs. Once inside, a hostess will let the chefs know to get started, while you are led into a small reception area. According to those who have been there, that reception area has a vibe like something out of old-timey Hollywood. It's also equipped with a darkened window that will momentarily lighten up enough to give you a glimpse of the enormous staff busily preparing your experience. A man standing behind a desk will then hand out tickets and shots to everyone in your party. And in case you're already hungry, those tickets are 100% edible. The edible tickets come in on an edible envelope that's also edible. And it's shut tight with a seal that tastes like sweet raspberries. It's some real Wonka nonsense. At least one lucky member of your party will find that their envelope contains a golden ticket, which the host will instruct you to hold on to until later. They really linger on that Wonka idea. Next, you'll be sent into a small room that is actually an elevator. And while it's taking you to your next stop, you'll be treated to an introductory video and the sound of the Ramones singing "Hey Ho, Let's Go" from their 1976 tune, Blitzkrieg Bop. Eventually, you'll arrive at the dining room, which Sublimotion refers to as the capsule. The capsule is all white, from the tables to the chairs and the walls. There, you'll be seated in one of 12 chairs that are arranged around a large dining table, with your reserved seat marked by a projection of your own name in a sharp neon hue. Once seated, you'll meet the compere, or master of ceremonies, who will introduce the dishes as they arrive. For example, as your dish arrives, the compere may say something like, "I think it tastes like the whistle that the wind makes through a door lock on a cold autumn afternoon." And who doesn't love that taste? Cocktails will be served, but not how you might expect. One visitor, for example, reported being handed a giant book which contained the ingredients for their Bloody Mary in test tubes. They then got the fun of being able to make their own drink. This probably loses much of its appeal as the night goes on. And those cocktails, along with everything else, are served to you by waitresses dressed like old-fashioned airline stewardesses who are likely to break out into choreographed dance numbers as they work. The first course will likely be something small. For example, a pill, which tastes like a fruity sorbet. Only it might take you a moment to remember you even have food, because the walls of the capsule are actually floor-to-ceiling screens, capable of displaying 360-degree images. And those images are capable of running through most everything in the room, including the table. The place is also equipped with projectors, props, lighting installations, and various other high-tech doodads. And they all combine to remake the capsule around each individual course. For example, depending on what you're tasting, you may find yourself being sent forward or backward in time, or being transported from land to sea. Those environmental changes affect everything from the music being played to the temperature of the room. Thanks to some handy virtual reality headsets made by Samsung, you may even find yourself skydiving while you eat. And who among us hasn't wished to eat a sorbet pill while plummeting toward Earth at 120 miles an hour? But remember that golden ticket? Well, if you've got it, at some point the master of ceremonies will ask you what you miss most about your childhood, before rolling out a small Ferris wheel filled with treats, balloons filled with mini sandwiches, and a dessert bar stocked with Sublimotion's unique versions of things like cotton candy, popcorn, and cake pops. The meal comes with dessert, but that dessert will likely be served to you on a spinning, levitating plate, and you'll have to wait for it to slow down a bit before you can actually get to the food. You won't mind, though, because your place setting is going to transform into a personal spinning station and you'll get to play DJ while you wait. No, really, that's a thing that happens. There's a lot more to it all, but as we mentioned, this gastronomic gala is constantly changing. And by this point, you probably get the idea. From start to finish, the full Sublimotion dining experience lasts about 3 hours, although there are shorter versions too. And once it's over, you'll be escorted to a terrace, where you'll be given time to readjust to the paradise-like beaches of Ibiza. And all that for the low, low price of $2,400 a head. Of course, that's just what it costs if you happen to live at Ibiza. If not, we recommend you tack on another $6,300 or so, because that's the average price of what it will cost 2 people to go there for a week, including flights, accommodations, and the price of other meals and activities. But VR headsets are getting pretty cheap now. Maybe Sublimotion will release a home version. So what do you think? Would you ever consider springing for a meal at Sublimotion? Let us know in the comments below, and while you're at it, check out some of these other weird history food videos.